Hey everybody, it's Ryan Steinert here with your Medicare Helper. Hope you're having a good day, good spring. It's a warm day here today, but I wanted to reach out today and talk to you a little bit about cancer coverage and why I feel cancer coverage is a wise separate plan to have. And I've really been thinking about this a lot more lately because today, May 12th, 2026, that was 6 years ago today that my mom, who is right here, passed away from cervical cancer and multiple myeloma both. This picture was taken about a month or so before she passed away. There's me, a lot less gray hairs than my wife, and four of my six kids who were present at the time. Um, but as I've been thinking a lot about mom, I've been thinking a lot about her experience and thinking about cancer coverage. And, I get a lot of people asking me about cancer coverage. Does Medicare cover certain treatments? What about travel costs? What about ancillary costs? What about this? What about home health? What if I need somebody to come home? What if I need help at the house? What about flying family members in? And so kind of wanted to talk about that and address that. And there was a period of time maybe where I wasn't quite as sold on a separate ancillary cancer plan. This would be in addition to Medicare and your supplement plan or a Medicare Advantage plan. I am fully an advocate. I'm fully on board. I think everybody needs a cancer plan, and I think a cancer plan really makes sense. And I'm going to kind of give you some reasons why here quickly in this video. The first thing would be for travel and other ancillary expenses that you may not be thinking of. When my mom was diagnosed and we were living in Cottonwood, Arizona, I moved my mom out there at the time. She lived with me, my brother, Rob. We were driving down to Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale, so about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes one way. What started out as once a month quickly became every couple of weeks, quickly became every week for her chemo radiation treatment. And for, whatever reason, it seemed they always wanted her there at like 6:37 in the morning. And because my mom always likes to be early, we were leaving the house at, 4:35 a.m. And so pretty quick, she would want to stay in hotels, go down the day before, stay in a hotel. No big deal. So we did that quite a bit. And, I realized that this separate plan that would cover things like hotels, fuel, mileage, meals, any kind of out of area trip. If you live in a rural area, you may not have the kind of treatment you want super close to you, and you may be traveling. A cancer plan absolutely will pay for these kind of expenses. Again, what a cancer plan does is you choose a lump sum amount, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. And if you get a diagnosis of cancer, any internal cancer, you're going to get a check for that $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever amount you choose, that would help to pay and reimburse for these kind of things. So number one, travel ancillary expenses. Number two, lost wages or caregiver impact. I know a lot of clients that they have an older spouse who's maybe on Medicare, gets diagnosed with cancer. Maybe the younger spouse is still working, but maybe now they can't work as much because they need to help out. Or maybe the spouse was working and on Medicare, and now they obviously can't work, and you're losing and missing out on that income and missing out on those wages. A lot of folks want to, have family caregivers come in and help out. Medicare doesn't cover any of that cost to fly people, bring family members in to reimburse for these things, but a separate cancer plan will do that for you. All other non-medical home expenses, things like helping with meals, cleaning, transportation, home care needs, traditional Medicare Advantage plans, they do not cover for these expenses, but you would get that with a separate cancer plan. Also, drugs and specialty exposures. There are so many different types of cancers, so many different types of treatments out there. And some medications that you may be prescribed are either too new or they're such a high tier that they're either very expensive on your prescription drug Part D drug plan, or maybe not covered at all, where a cancer plan will really help with that. And a lot of people wonder, well, these must be really expensive plans. They're really not that bad. Cancer plans, depending on your age, depending on your zip code, can be $25, $35, $50 a month, which is not a lot of money. And once you get a cancer plan, you typically have it. Premiums don't really increase over time. They are based on your age. So the older you are, the more expensive they are to acquire. And you do have to go through medical underwriting to get one. But they ask you basically 3 questions. Have you had cancer in any form in the last 2 to 3 years? If you have, well, you're not going to qualify right now. But if you're cancer free over 3 years, you're going to get this cancer coverage. So as I'm thinking about mom, thinking about things, just wanted to reach out, wanted you to know that a cancer plan can really help out and really make sense. Wanted you to be aware of that, wanted you to know that. God bless you guys. Hope you're doing well. If you have any questions, you know where to find us. Call us, email us. We're here for you. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.